Top shocking revelations from the Skinwalker Ranch that you have probably never heard about. Dr. Travis Taylor provides an introduction to Skinwalker Ranch and discusses his fascination with the peculiar occurrences that have been documented in the region for more than a century. He discusses his educational background in physics as well as aerospace engineering. He also recounts a peculiar occurrence in which a UAP, Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon, emerged in the sky, and the animals on the ranch appeared to be aware of it before the people were. Not long after that, a perfectly healthy cow passed away, and shortly after that, the team's phones started acting strangely, and this is one of the top shocking revelations from the Skinwalker Ranch. The crew is faced with a potentially life-threatening increase in radiation levels, but they were unable to determine what caused it. They examine the security film with the assistance of Linda Moulton Howe and come to the conclusion that a dark thing was seen over the cow shortly before it passed away. Dr. Taylor has a theory that magnetic anomalies, mutilations of livestock, and unidentified flying objects might all be related to one another. After some time has passed, they fire a rocket into space and discover an odd communication signal. They continue their investigation despite having a UAP caught on camera. During the rocket launches, the team has trouble collecting data, and Osiris, their UAP detection vehicle, shuts down for no apparent reason. They ask astronomers to observe the triangular area with powerful telescopes, but they run into problems due to technical issues. They send a rocket into space and then detect an RF signal at 1.6 gigahertz. They see a gigantic unidentified flying object in the sky that is very visible. The crew investigates the possibility that Homestead 2 hosts a portal to another dimension. They ask Rabbi Ariel Zadok to recite an ancient prayer that is thought to open gates to other realms, and they invite him to help them. They notice a temperature dip along with a whirling vortex that appears in front of a house that has been abandoned. The crew examines the thermal data and discovers an anomaly that is moving quite quickly. They wonder whether or not it is possible to open a portal at Homestead 2 using scientific methods. The enigma surrounding Skinwalker Ranch and the larger Uinta Basin has, without fail, defied attempts over the course of many years to solve it through investigation, research, and analysis. This much is certain. On the other hand, one could say the same thing about the larger, more general mystery of UAP in general. It has come to Fugel's attention that the investigation that is now being carried out at Skinwalker Ranch may already have the answers that are required to solve both of the mysteries. As soon as Fugel became the owner of the property, he wasted no time in assembling his very own team of investigators to look into the matter. According to what he is reported to have said at the time, as part of our investigation, I have brought forward a team of professionals from a variety of disciplines. Physicists, engineers, and scientists from a wide variety of fields are working together in an effort to gain a better understanding of what is going on. Fugel states that his team has conducted drone aerial inspections, soil investigations, and analyses of seismic data in order to determine whether or not there is a natural, banal explanation for what has been reported there. The goal of these investigations was to determine whether or not there is a natural explanation for what has been reported there. Fugel desired to maintain his anonymity so that he could protect his reputation across the many different commercial pursuits in which he was engaged at the time. Who here wants to be the one who is known for the extraterrestrial craft? However, the most of the answers, according to what he reports, have been statements of support and genuine interest in the matter. After all, almost everyone has a story to relate about a time when they came upon something that they simply were unable to get their finger on. It begs the question, why don't we place a larger priority on the scientific examination of UAP? However, there are some people who are. The government of the United States of America is one example. However, up until very recently, such efforts to investigate UAP and other unexplained incidents were not nearly as prominent as they are now. This contrasts with the current state of affairs. It is not clear at this moment whether or not this specific line of inquiry is being pursued at Skinwalker Ranch. Nevertheless, Fugel did hint that eventual development of the probe would incorporate research into human awareness. Despite this, it is still unknown whether or not this particular path of inquiry is being pursued at Skinwalker Ranch. His description of the phenomenon is that it possesses precognitive, sentient, non-human intelligence. It is possible, as stated by him, that It can anticipate and even be aware of your thoughts and consciousness, and react according to the intention that you bring into the property. The team that is being led by Fugal has not been successful in acquiring any insight into the nature or motivations of this alleged entity, or potentially numerous entities that are working together. He is of the belief that they are observing a diversity of origins and agendas, and is of the idea that there are malevolent, benevolent, and benign forces at work. This is his opinion. In addition, Fugal is of the opinion that Skinwalker Ranch is the location of the solutions to a great deal more mysteries than only those that concern the activities that are taking place on the premises of the ranch itself. If we can approach the ranch as a kind of living laboratory for verifying that we are not alone in the universe, whether that means we are interacting with extraterrestrials, interdimensional phenomena, or spiritual entities, it is all extremely compelling, said one researcher. One of the researchers remarked to the other, if we can approach the ranch as a sort of living laboratory for verifying that we are not alone in the universe, then that would be ideal. This science project, as Fugal refers to it, is being carried out at a ranch in the far northeastern corner of Utah. Is it possible that this science project, as Fugal refers to it, could in fact be the answer to many of the riddles that surround us in the cosmos? Whatever it is that they have found, Fugal has become a devoted follower of whatever it is that they have found. His words were, "We have to gain the most compelling evidence regarding the reality of the phenomenon on the planet, that we're not alone, that our reality is more complex than it may seem, and that there is more at work in our world than we know. To restate it in a different way, Dana Scully, there are more things in heaven and earth than you have ever dreamed of in your philosophy." One of the most puzzling characteristics of this unique location is the unsolved cases of precise cattle mutilation that have reportedly occurred at Skinwalker Ranch during the daytime hours. At this time, the reason for these mutilations cannot be determined. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications for more top shocking revelations. According to the History Channel, frequent visitors to the property often report sighting odd animals that they suspect may be skinwalkers. According to Navajo legend, these animal-like beings are thought to be witches who have the ability to transform into beasts, which is where the name witch comes from. Skinwalkers aren't linked with good witches, but rather demonic forces, so don't expect to see any of them. Along with the enigmatic individuals, there is also a local urban legend that talks of a crazy and unkillable wolf that is said to haunt the ranch. Some people assert that the previous owner saw a large wolf attack their livestock at one point in time. Others say that this assertion is false. Because it was able to get away without being wounded, it would appear that the wolf did not feel any pain or weakness as a result of being shot many times. A significant number of individuals have a skeptical attitude about Skinwalker Ranch. It was previously pointed out by one of the most prominent, Robert Schieffer, that the claims of paranormal activity began just before a family that owned the ranch was preparing to sell it to Bigelow. Bigelow was the founder of the National Institute for Discovery Science, NIDSci, a privately financed research organization that was disbanded in 2004. Schieffer was the first person to point out that the claims of paranormal activity began just before Bigelow was about to purchase the ranch. Bigelow was the one who ultimately decided to buy the ranch. Researchers have discovered something that would change everything. Click on the next video to find out what it was.